What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. President Biden meets with Chinese President Xi as they're trying to prevent, World War III and a Cold War. As remember that China is somewhat aligned with Russia and Vladimir Putin. And President Biden meets with them today. Take a look.
Morning from Bali, Indonesia. Now, President Joe Biden will hold a news conference in just a few hours as he meets with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Their first in-person visit since Biden took office comes amid heightened tensions between the U.S. and China over technology, Taiwan, and China's tacit support of Russia's war in Ukraine. But President Biden is counting on his personal relationship with Xi to establish red line issues.
I know I'm coming in stronger, but I don't need that. I know Xi Jinping. I've spent more time with any other world leader. I know him well. He knows me. There's no, we have very little misunderstanding. We just got to figure out where the red lines are, what are the most important things to each of us going into the next 2 years. And his circumstances changed, to state the obvious, at home. And so we're going to have I think, I've always had straightforward discussion with him. There's never any miscalculation about where each of us stand. And I think that's critically important in our relationship. I've had a number of candid and useful conversations over the years and since I became president as well. You're kind enough to call me to congratulate me, and I congratulate you as well. And I believe there's a little substitute, though, to face-to-face discussions. And as you know, I'm committed to keeping the lines of communications open between you and me personally, but our governments across the board, because our two countries have so much that we have an opportunity to deal with. As the leaders of our two nations, we share a responsibility, in my view, to show that China and the United States can manage our differences, prevent competition from becoming anything ever near conflict, and to find ways to work together on urgent global issues that require our mutual cooperation. And I believe this is critical for the sake of our two countries and the international community. This was a key to the theme of the COP27 meeting, where I spoke on Friday, and we'll be discussing a lot of these challenges together, I hope, in the next couple hours. And the world expects, I believe, China and the United States to play key roles in addressing global challenges, from climate changes to food insecurity, and for us to be able to work together. The United States stands ready to do just that, work with you if that's what you desire. So, President Xi, I look forward to our continuing and ongoing open and honest dialogue we've always had, and I thank you for the opportunity.
Mr. President, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you, President.
The last time we met was in 2017 during the World Economic Forum in Davos. That was already more than 5 years ago. Well, since you assumed the presidency, we have maintained communication via video conferences, phone calls, and letters. But none of them can really substitute for face-to-face exchanges. And today, we finally have this face-to-face meeting. From the initial contact and the establishment of diplomatic relations to today, China and the United States have gone through 50-plus eventful years. We've gained experience, and we've also learned lessons. History is the best textbook. So we should take history as a mirror and let it guide the future. Currently, the China-US relationship
Sino-American relation is facing a lot of challenges,
is
which
in
is
such a
of a lot of
situation
concerns of the public.
that we all care a lot about it, because this is not the fundamental interest of our two countries and peoples, and it is not what the international community expects us. As leaders of the two major countries, we need to chart the right course for the China-US relationship. We need to find the right direction for the bilateral relationship going forward and elevate the relationship. A statesman should think about and know where to lead his country. He should also think about and know how to get along with other countries and the wider world. Well, in this time and age, great changes are unfolding in ways like never before. Humanity are confronted with unprecedented challenges. The world has come to a crossroads. Where to go from here? This is a question that is not only on our mind, but also on the mind of all countries. The world expects that China and the United States will properly handle the relationship. And for our meeting, it has attracted the world's attention. So we need to work with all countries to bring more hope to world peace, greater confidence in global stability, and stronger impetus to common development. In our meeting today, I'm ready to have a candid, as we always did, have a candid and in-depth exchange of views with you on issues of strategic importance in China-US relations and on major global and regional issues. I look forward to working with you, Mr. President, to bring China-US relations back to the track of healthy and stable growth to the benefit of our two countries and the world as a whole. Thank you.
You can also see here President Biden tells President Xi Jinping that the U.S. and China should manage their differences to prevent competition from becoming conflict. President Biden's exact quote was, "As the leaders of our two nations, we share a responsibility, in my view, to show that China and the United States can manage our differences, prevent competition from becoming anything ever near conflict, and to find ways to work together on urgent global issues that require our mutual cooperation." And I believe this is critical for the sake of our two countries and the international community. Biden also objected to China's aggressive approach to Taiwan in the 3-hour meeting with the Chinese president. The readout said that, quote, President Biden explained that the United States will continue to compete vigorously with the People's Republic of China, including by investing in sources of strength at home and aligning efforts with allies and partners around the world. He reiterated that this competition should not veer into conflict and underscored that the United States and China must manage the competition responsibly and maintain open lines of communication. The two leaders discussed the importance of developing principles that would advance these goals and tasked their teams to discuss them further. Biden reportedly told the Chinese president that the U.S.'s one China policy had not changed. The U.S. opposes any unilateral changes to the status quo on either side, and the world has an interest in maintenance of peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. He raised objections to China's coercive and increasingly aggressive actions toward Taiwan, which undermine peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait in the broader region. This is from the White House readout. Yeah, remember that not too long ago when Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan And China actually, you can see the headlines here back from August. Furious China fires missiles near Taiwan in drills after Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. So this was not that long ago, right after Nancy Pelosi's visit, right after she left. So obviously tensions are high, and they weren't too thrilled about her visit to Taiwan. Now, remember, you might not know this, but we have a kind of a treaty with Taiwan that goes back decades. It's called the Taiwan Relations Act. Okay, so yeah, we basically kind of have this act that goes back decades ago, that was enacted April 10th, 1979. And it basically says that we need to supply Taiwan. I believe they have to buy them, but we have to supply them with them for any weapons that they need. And of course, China doesn't like that at all, because China thinks that Taiwan should be a part of China, which technically they're not. Technically, they're kind of their own nation, but China wants them to be a part of one China. So this could technically one day lead to a World War III type of situation, very similar to what is going on in Russia and Ukraine, um, where Russia's trying to take over Ukraine, and you can see what's happening there, and how the U.S. and multiple other countries and Europe is almost being dragged into it, and the threat of nuclear war over there. And I mean, you can see how it's very, very close to nuclear bombs being used. I mean, Putin has threatened nuclear bombs being used dozens and dozens of time, and it's one of those things where we could wake up and any morning it could actually happen, or a nuclear reactor could get destroyed, and we could have a Chernobyl incident yet again. So this is how kind of dangerous this stuff is. So the Taiwan stuff is also a potential outlier that could also have something like that happen in the future. So that is a very tricky situation, that at any moment, that also it's a very tough thing to it's like a sleeping giant. It's like a sleeping bomb there in the ground that you want to like not disturb, but at any given moment China could just be like, yeah, well, it's time for us to take it back. And I mean, just like with I mean, Russia took back Crimea back in 2014, and then they moved in on Ukraine. And remember that they've also revealed plans to take over. Um, what was the other country they revealed to take over? Moldova. Yeah, so they've also revealed that twice by accident, that after Ukraine, they've revealed that they want to take over Moldova next. So, yeah, yeah, and if that doesn't show you that it's like Hitler, where Hitler wanted to take over one country, then the next, and the next, and the next, yeah. So, I mean, you can let me know your thoughts here, but this is just how some rulers are. They just want to take over and take over and take over and take over. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country and around the world, because some of this stuff is very serious. And for World War II and the Vietnam War, and Iraq, and all these things weren't that long ago, believe it or not. And we hope that some of these things don't happen again. But believe it or not, I mean, look at Ukraine, and all this stuff is going on right now. So hopefully we can divert from this stuff happening again. But we know that the Ukraine war and stuff is going on right now, and has been going on for well over 6 months at this point, and how long it will go on, we don't know. We don't know. So I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here on a daily basis. So if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. I will have a trivia question for you guys here in the next video where we're giving away money here on a daily basis. So if you can guess the question, you could win money directly from me. So make sure you're subscribed. Remember, new videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And here is my newest video with checks that are going out to millions of people that you might not even know about. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.